So I'm in this Black Girls That's Spiritual group on Facebook, and I made a post this morning because something really bizarre happened to me. Well, bizarre things have been happening to me lately anyways, but like this one stood out because in this group, you know, it seems like everyone is like posting these things that are happening to them, and then basically I'm basically summing it all up to be these are symptoms of coming into enlightenment or reaching a certain point in your spiritual awakening, or just certain things. I'm just trying to categorize what's happening. So this morning I'm sitting on my sofa and I decide I'm gonna go to the kitchen and grab, I don't even know what I went there to get or any of that, but I get up, and as I stand up, literally it's like all the sound in my living room went away. And I mean, the TV is on loud as hell. So there, I mean, my baby's watching cartoons, so it's not low, you know. But all of the sound disappears. There's no air. Like, it felt like life froze. And like, I don't know, almost like if you were playing a CD and like you jamming or whatever, and then all of a sudden it just stops. So you kind of have to stop too, you know, because you can't keep dancing if the music's not going. I mean, some people can, but like, you know, you jamming or whatever, and then the music just stops. So you just stop. And then the music picks back up and you're like, okay. So that's what happened to me. But this ain't a CD we talking about, dude. We talking about life. We talking about a moment in life that happened, and literally everything paused. Now, long story short, I've read up on this before because I feel like we are living in a matrix. It just has a firmament on it. But I feel like ultimately, when you're running through a simulation or you're running through something that just kind of keeps playing, at some point there's going to be something that gets in the way of it flowing that way. And I feel like the more people are becoming aware of their spiritual abilities and what they can do and how they can manifest and things like that, and especially in my life, because I've been manifesting like crazy, I'm starting to believe that in those people's lives, they're going to have glitches because you altered something. Now, I used to think back in the day, like, I think I watched a movie or something. I think it was Back to the Future. Can't remember the details. I hate this foggy moment, but yeah, this old bizarre guy, like, honestly I don't remember the storyline, but in this whole thing they can go back into the future or whatever. So like the movie just gives you this whole feel that, like, I don't know, growing up I thought it was possible. I thought there was ways that you could stop time. I thought that there was all these things, but in the movie it basically shows that if you go back into time or if you go into the future, if you go back into the past and you change or alter anything, there will be a glitch because you messed up something. So that was kind of what I felt happened this morning. I can say yesterday I did do my first cinnamon boil with bay leaves that I scripted manifesting thoughts on. I did at least 4 bay leaves, and I didn't have cinnamon sticks, so I ended up using grounded cinnamon. And I believe that through what I wrote on my bay leaves and the manifestation that I put into the whole cinnamon bowl itself, I just have this belief that I may have altered something. Not in the world, because I used to think from those movies that if you went back into time, or if you went into the future and you changed something that was happening or was going to happen or had happened, that basically you would cause a glitch into the whole matrix, like everything would be fucked. I used to think that, but now I feel like it's specific, because not everybody would have been a part of that glitch because you did it in your house. You get what I'm saying? It may sound a little weird, but yeah. So yeah, this morning I experienced that. And I had to sit down really quickly after it happened because I got super dizzy. And immediately after it happened, like, I had this dizzy feeling, but it was like I was seeing so many different color orbs that it was insane. Like, it's gonna sound weird to say colors you've never seen before, but that's kind of how it looked. I mean, I could say, ooh, that was purple, but it wasn't just regular purple. And I could say, ooh, that was magenta, but it wasn't regular magenta. I could say it was yellow, but it wasn't regular yellow. So like, it's like one of those things where I know everything vibrates, everything is a frequency, especially us. I felt like those orbs were hertz, they were frequency around me. I don't know what they were though. So yeah, so that brings me to this point. I'm just gonna go ahead and get out all of the weird stuff that's been happening to me lately. I lost all of my friends, and I say friends with like air quotes because I can't really say they were friends, because if they were, they would still be here. But I've been doing a lot of scripting lately, a lot of journaling, a lot of the 369 method, a lot of manifesting. So in a lot of my manifestations, in a lot of my scripting, I've been asking for clarity. I've been asking for clear relations. I've been asking for people that don't serve my higher self to get away from me, be sent away from me, almost like exile them away from me. And yeah, that's what's pretty much happened. It's like, I asked for this, but then like I didn't know that none of these people had my best interest at heart. Like, you mean to tell me like it was an army of these motherfuckers that was just sitting around waiting and hoping and praying against me? Like, I mean, I used to always feel like that, but it's like at some point you don't want to just keep feeling like that, because it's like it creates this notion in your head that I mean, I've always been humble, so it couldn't none of this could ever steer me from who I was gonna be anyways. But it damn well tried. So when you're in a situation where it's like always the girls against you, or you can't seem to get, you know, real friendships with people or real relationships with people, it makes you feel like, at first I was starting to feel like I'm not good enough, you know. Then I started to feel like, okay, maybe these people have a problem with me. So then like when you start to go different places in the world and these things happen with anyone, you start to realize, okay, no, something about me is rubbing them in a weird way. So like you start to re-examine things. And it took me to actually have a real friend in the room with me amongst 3 people that weren't my friend, for me to understand, oh, this is what a real friend is. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's real. So I'm just gonna like give a short story about it, because like, even though it's relevant to my journey, it's not like I need to give them too much even notification about this shit. So basically, go to a birthday dinner. We meet up at a friend of mine's house who I've been friends with longer than any of the people that I'm meeting up with. When I meet up with these people, or when they meet up at the house, at my friend's house, they show up with just like, I don't know, the vibe is just not great. You could feel that the vibe isn't great. I'm trying to figure out, you know, like, okay, did they not want to come? It's a birthday gathering, so that means we're about to like go out. I mean, I knew we were gonna go to dinner, and I didn't really have plans after that, but like even for dinner, I just can't even like get over the clothes that was chose for this birthday celebration. And long story short, 2 of them showed up to my birthday already drunk. So I don't know, it was just very bizarre. But long story short, we ended up going our separate ways by the end of the night. I ended up blocking all of them except for one, by the next morning. And yeah, so it just kind of proves that if you ask for answers, they'll come to you. If you ask for guidance, it'll come to you. I'm starting to believe I'm supposed to be a spiritual guide, like to help people get here. And I don't think it's even supposed to be like personal stories and personal adventures. I think it's just supposed to be as a collective. So I'm really, really wrecking my brain and working on this invention to help raise the vibration of this planet. And I'm hoping that it works. I'm hoping that it heals all of us and everybody is able to elevate. I don't want to be the only one that elevates. I want everyone to ascend to 5D. I want us all to get to a higher consciousness. I want us all to love each other and realize that we're all the same. You know, we're all here to help each other. And if we don't see that, then we're our own demise. I don't know how else to put it. We live in a world right now where races divide people, sexualities divide people, what they identify as. Like, all of this stuff divides us. And it's just like, at the end of the day, if we were to cut each other, what color would we bleed? Is there really a difference? Like, ultimately, is there really a difference? I mean, yeah, we're gonna be different because some of us are gonna have this type blood and that type blood, but at the end of the day, like, that blood all is red. It's not gonna be blue blood from some people, green blood from somebody. It's not, you know. Your money won't matter when your blood comes into play, you know. And I just wish that there was a way that I could spread this message and just everyone could understand that there is a higher purpose for your body, your spiritual body, to be on this planet at this time. If you don't look at your hand and wonder how the hell is all of this connected, and just know that there's a divine purpose for everybody, then I don't know what to tell you. And like, I don't know how else to put it to make it, you know, to make y'all understand that everybody is one, okay? Like, we're all one, and we all vibrate in color. So like, I mean, for a long time I used to wonder, how can I tell if a person is good or bad? Because I used to be really good at that. And then of course I got older and started letting all these different things into my vibration, and it became harder to have judge of character, you know, against people or all that stuff, but because you have everything else going on. But ultimately, I believe I was always able to tell if a person was good or bad, and that's because I can see people's souls. And it's not seeing an item. There's not like this S-shaped thing that's inside of a person that says soul. No, it's a color. You literally vibrate on it. Like, everybody is a different frequency. And I mean, that's how our higher self can identify with us. We're able to come down and see, okay, this isn't going right, this isn't going right, and then we can channel which parts of our body needs help, like chakras. So yeah, I feel like I'm ranting, but yeah, I just wanted to make this message to say, I feel like December 21st is literally going to be a distinction between two, and those two could be very, like, a lot of different things. So that's good or bad, light or dark, evil or good. It's going to separate the people that thought that spirituality was a trend, something you can just hop onto, from the people that actually were called to go on this journey, to become who they were, because they're healers. They were sent here to heal this planet. You know, when I started this journey, I didn't ask for this. I only asked to know more things about the things that I was studying, because I've always felt like this was not home. I've always looked at the sky and felt like, okay, when y'all coming to pick me up? Like, I didn't even know who y'all was, you know, but I used to always look up like, shit, I'm ready, like, when y'all coming? And I'm gonna tell y'all this one story, because this is what really blows my mind. I asked for them to come pick me up for so long. Like, you're probably like, asked who? So I've always believed that there were something else out there. I've always believed that we were not alone here. And I've always called out to them to come get me, pick me up, because I'm ready to go. I used to always say that when I was little. And I used to always keep my head up to the sky trying to figure out, okay, how is this possible? How am I here? And what am I supposed to be doing here? Like, seriously. I've been asking myself that probably since I can remember, and that's probably 8 years old. So, I'm saying all of that to say that there is no hiding anymore. And if you feel like you don't belong here, it's because you don't belong here. It's because you're not even originally from here. Your star dust that you're born from was not even originated from this star or this galaxy at all. So I've gathered the information that I know that I'm a star seed. I know that I'm not of this planet. And honestly, I don't know if any of us are. But I know for a fact that I've researched enough to believe that I'm a Sirian star seed. Which means that, like, I've been on this planet for 2,000 years, just like recycling, but not in the worst way. I mean, I feel like I'm more wise now than I may ever be. But I know that my wisdom will grow. But it's like, I'm at the peak right now that I feel that all of my downloads are coming. I don't think they will ever stop. But I've been on this path since 2016. My first time trying to meditate, I astral projected outside of my body over myself. Freaked myself the fuck out. Like, what's crazy is I don't even know how I did it. All I know is it was like summer in Atlanta, and I had just moved there, got my own apartment, and I was naked, like sitting on my floor in my bedroom, and there was nothing on. It was just me sitting there focused. And once I was able to see the top of my box plots, my braids, I was like, oh no. Oh no. I have no clue about this. I don't know. I don't want no parts of it. And I literally got my ass up, and literally it took me 1.5 years to try meditating again. I used to tell people all the time back then, yeah, I've been meditating. I couldn't bring myself to meditation because I was so scared of what would happen. Where am I going to go? This time I only stayed on top of myself. Where else can I go? Like, I was scared, like super scared, just to know that I was capable of that. That same summer, I met a real witch. Like a real witch. I met her by accident, totally by accident. And when she was walking toward me, I saw a gypsy, which is so weird because in 2017, 16, 17, you don't just see people that look like they have old clothes, you know, like their clothes, it's just not normal. But even though her clothes were modern, when I saw her, my eyes saw like a gypsy, and her clothes were old. Now, long story short, when I met this witch, she told me that I was more powerful than her. And she had been practicing for at least 12 years, I think. And I looked at her like she was crazy, because it's like, girl, if you don't get out of my face with this witch talk, blah, blah. I always knew I was like, you know, of something different, but never categorized myself as anything because I didn't know what I was. So when she told me that, I'm like, I don't know about that. I knew I could feel people's energies. I knew I could read energy, all of this stuff, but like a witch? Nah. Until this day, like, I still feel like she knew exactly what she was talking about, because the things that I'm able to do in the time that they happen is very strange. Like 2 days before my birthday, no, 3 days before my birthday, but 2 days before my birthday dinner, I had a vision that I would see Lil Baby. Like, and it wasn't even a vision that I would see him. It was a vision that I saw him, we locked eyes, and it was pretty much like a snippet, and that was it. This was the same day that I heard, so my left ear started ringing out of this world, like it was almost like to the point where I wanted to hit myself upside the head. It was hurting so bad, or ringing so bad. I can't say that it was hurting. It was just very annoying. It was almost like when I gave birth. Very annoying. Not so much painful, just annoying. So as I'm hearing my ear ring on the left side, I hear like at least 4 different voices having a conversation, like fly by my right ear. And I'm sitting in my house on the sofa straight up, and my daughter is laying right on my shoulder, like in my lap. So, or falling into my lap. She wasn't talking. That if it was just her, I would have noticed that was just one voice. It was 4 different voices. Long story short, I ended up going to Atlanta for my birthday dinner, which was on that Wednesday. My birthday is December 3rd, so I went for dinner on December 2nd, and I had a reservation for STK, but my reservation was late. I was late for my reservation, so I assumed that I missed it, so I tried to go to a restaurant that was on the same block. So as me and my friends are crossing the street to get onto the sidewalk, and notice I'm doing friends in quotations, long story short, but yeah, we're walking. As soon as we touch from the street to the pavement, I look up, and as soon as I look up, I lock eyes with Lil Baby. Like, he's standing in front of STK. It was literally the same vision that I had on that Monday. So I don't know what I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck was that about? Like, what? And then at the same time, I'm like, okay, I want to reach out to him, but then he goes through all of this shit with this porn star lady that exposed him for having sex with her and all this shit, and I'm just like, I don't want him to think I'm a groupie. I mean, because I'm not, you know. And obviously if I were a groupie, I would have been like, hey, Lil Baby, can you sign this? It's about to be my birthday. Like, we have the same birthday. Him and I have the same birthday. So I don't know. When I seen him, it was just like, okay, what's up? Because I didn't even speak. I just looked at him. He looked at me, and I kept walking. And as we're walking, I start walking slow, because I'm just like, I'm trying to put 2 and 2 together. And my friend, like, they're like, what happened? I'm like, we just walked by Lil Baby. And none of them believed me until they looked back, and they're like, why didn't you say nothing? I'm like, girl, I'm trying to process things. I hadn't told anybody about that, what had happened on Monday, so I'm still trying to process everything by myself. So yeah, that happened. So I'm trying to figure out what's happening. I mean, I understand that obviously there's something happening. There's a shift happening. I ascended to 5D in like the end of June. I want to say it was the end of June. End of June. And I mean, honestly, nothing has been the same since. I can see through everything. I can see through everyone. No one can really get a lot of things past me without me, you know, second guessing them, like, okay, what was that? What did you say? You know, and it's like people are not becoming scared of me, but it's like intimidated because, I mean, you can't lie to me. You know what I'm saying? You can't fake the funk. You can't pretend. You can't flex. None of that. All of that is being like literally bounced off of people like it's like a red light flashing. Like, okay, pay attention to this, pay attention to that, look at this, look at that, walk away from this, walk away from that. And I have. And now I'm literally, I mean, if I had to count on my hand how many people I had that I could call right now, yeah, it's not that many. And for some reason, I feel more supported than anything. I don't know how to explain it, guys, but it's weird, and I hope that someone can relate and can come in and tell me some things, something. But at all times, I am trying to attract my vibe tribe, and I love you guys, even though you don't know me. But I hope you do soon. Have a good one.